Today we're just going to quickly show off the recent boost list that I made a deck tech on. This is for the new Skirmish rules, so where you're able to bring in a sideboard. So now our Blitz sideboard looks pretty tight. And we're just going to run pretty much the whole thing. We're going to include the induction chamber and start with it, just in case of the Levia tries to fatigue. The only exception will be we're not going to bring in the signal jammer because there's no reason to have it. Levia is going first here. And we see Goliath Gauntlet and Hooves, so it's probably going to be more aggressive. Now, here's an interesting question. Do we overblock with both the 0 to 60 and the zipper hit? We would probably like to go off on our turn with the high octane, or we could potentially arsenal it. We could just send the throttle if we draw blue, use our zipper hit, banish 2 cards, send a pistol. So I think we're going to try to arsenal the high octane here and then hope we can play off of the throttle. So we're really hoping to draw blue, but even a red isn't terrible because we have a yellow pitch. So there we go. So we're going to first send in the throttle for 6. Arguably we even could have possibly brought in Tekla Pounder, but you know, like I said, I'm a little bit nervous about fatigue here, although running so many cards, it's probably a little bit difficult, but here's Sigil, so maybe it was useful for us to bring that in. Do we care about the 2 cards in deck right now? I actually think that we do. If our opponent is going to try to full block us out, I think honestly having more cards in deck is ultimately going to be better. So there's no reason for me to burn 3 cards on this turn just to get into extra damage. We have the induction chamber, so it's probably fine as is. My opponent does take it though, so maybe I misread them, and maybe they're not on full fatigue. Okay, they're just going to send another claw back. Having a high octane here is pretty rough because it's not really what we want. Looking at this hand, this is also not a high octane hand at all. I think the best thing we could do is maybe block with a high octane. We just pitched a blue throttle. We could block with a high octane or the payload and then send Zipper Hit and Spark of Genius, but even that's like really, really bad, right? So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna burn a card. We're actually gonna be pretty inefficient, right? Because we maybe even could have held all of them, but we're gonna send the Zipper Hit, we're gonna boost it. I'm just going to play the Spark. We're going to do it for 0 to go get a Tekla core. Unfortunately, we lose a lot of value not being able to Arsenal, but don't exactly know what the Levia's game plan is yet. They are trying to full block us out. Okay, so now they're on Blood Debt. They also miss. So we're just going to take 6 here. We're going to go full aggro. Our opponent can no longer fatigue us because of the Blood Debt, so if they block out, they're just going to take 2 every turn. I think we're actually fine holding the high octane for 1 more turn, just because Bioseptate and Throttle are pretty bad with high octane. So I think instead we're just going to full send our turn. And actually I forgot that we had the Tekla core. Huh, okay. So that didn't even cost anything. Oh. That's pretty unfortunate. So we could lose the 0 to 60 here. We do lose the 0 to 60. But we at least can pitch. We're going to attack. I think we're actually going to cash in our Foundry Heart here just to reload, get an extra resource for the turn. Fatigue is off the table, so it no longer matters. I'm just going to reload both of these. Send another 2 back. If our opponent can't kill us, I feel pretty confident in our follow-up turn. We still have full armor. It was unfortunate that they got us there. And we have, I would say, probably a better hand for the high octane. It's still not great, but it does seem a little bit more reasonable. Okay, so they're probably going to Hooves here. Blood Debt is turned off. Where does it have? Oh, I see it. It innately has Go again. Okay, that's good. Don't really think there's going to be any future on hit. Although I guess if there is, we could just wait. We're kind of not really in a spot where we need to be blocking. So let's just force him to have something else. Here we can just crown away our Pounder, hopefully find something better. That is much better. So we probably should be able to win this turn, or at least get ourselves in a position where we can win. That's what we like to see. So we're going to start with a 0 to 60. I don't really know how my opponent's going to block this out, right? We have so many resources, and with Achilles, we can potentially... I'm not even going to bother counting, because we're just going to play out the hand as is, right? We'll send in high-speed impact. We're going to send the payload and then use our remaining resources to 0 to 60 and then pistol out, right? We also have Foundry Heart, so we have a few more resources off of that. Oh, sorry, we're not going to send the 0 to 60. Instead, we're going to use the 0 to 60 to pitch out here, right? So we use an action point, so we still have 2 more pistols, 3 pistols, 4 pistols with Achilles. All right, my opponent's pistol locked out. Wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna die this turn. It doesn't really matter. All right. Foundry Heart. And if we really needed to, we also had Achilles on the back end. Unfortunately, I'm rushing this video. I was in the middle of doing something else, but still testing for nationals. Wanted to just throw out a quick one. So very, very easy game. Not a whole lot to talk about there, but I hope you can kind of see like the pattern of playing the deck. Like there wasn't as much blocking, I think, as I wanted there to be. But like for that one turn with High Octane, we easily could have blocked with maybe 2 cards. My opponent had a more relevant hit. We were saving the crown in case that they fought up like a CNC or something. Not that I really would expect Levia to run it, but there's no reason to block with the crown yet, right? Because like we're not dead, so we don't need the armor. So might as well just wait for the next one. Just in case there is a relevant on hit, we still have Foundry Heart available. We easily could have blocked out with maybe 2 of those cards. Also on the previous turn with the High Octane, if they had sent more than just the Mandible Claw, we could have also blocked with the High Octane and maybe just sent a payload on the back of something else. So there's definitely some interesting lines that you can go through with this deck. This probably wasn't the most fantastic showing, so I'll probably do another video when I get another moment to hop into another game. Hopefully there's some more complex lines. Levia did have a pivot turn, but the turns before that were just blocking Claw, which sort of confused me if it was Fatigue. And then also the one turn that they did send the Endless Mod, they whiffed on the Blood Debt, which was kind of tough for them. So little bit of a stumble from Levia. She does have that problem. She is much better now, but she does still have, you know, some issues. But hopefully that sort of highlights the deck. Just punch and face. We were able to close it out pretty quickly with Induction Chamber instead of Pounder. If we had Pounder, we would have had 6 more damage. In retrospect, it would have been much better, but we didn't know what version they were on, so you always kind of have to make that guess. Well, anyways, hope this video was helpful. If you're still new to the deck, getting a feel for it, and hope you enjoy it. So until next time, thank you for watching.